acceptance is the main thing that's going to make you get over your insecurities. There's a couple other things like self-worth and self-image and confidence, but the main point is acceptance. If you're wondering why you should listen to me, even though I didn't have such a insecurity which I can't change, I had one which I could change, but I didn't know at the time. So I used to be this really fat kid, and I remember always pulling my shirt every time just so I could hide the fact that my stomach was bulging. And I don't know if you know this technique, if you've been fat you'll know. It's where you basically pull your stomach back, like you pull it in, to make it a little bit flatter, so that it didn't feel like that you had that much of a belly. But that meant that you'd have to develop the habit of, sucking in your stomach more. And then it gave you this kind of like malnourished look to yourself. And it was something to do just so that you could hide your stomach and that you could hide your insecurity of being fat. And I had this for a lot of my life until obviously I got into gym and then I reduced my fat and whatever. I was also told I had a big nose for a lot of my life. I mean, like, bro, come on. I've been told I have a big nose, but that's something that I've just accepted because that's something I can't change. That's something that I have no control over. So I came to peace with that and I accepted that. And the things that I tell you today will help you accept your insecurities, so you will stop thinking about them and you will have a much more positive self-image. I'm going to try my best to not waste your time, other than now where I'm going to waste it just a little bit. For anyone new, my name is Vanch and I upload 2 self-improvement videos a day with like practical stuff that you can apply to start improving your life like right now. So click on subscribe and the post notifications, and if you don't do that, it's over for you, little boy. If you click on that subscribe and post notifications, you'll see more videos like this on your For You page, and then you also get like my video come up in your notifications. So do that, click on subscribe and the post notifications. I know you want to do it. I think acceptance is the main factor to come in and take in when it comes to insecurities, when it's something that you can't change. So I don't want anyone to get the false perception and think, oh, if I am fat or if I'm unathletic, I should stay like this because it's my insecurity, but I should accept it. Like, no, that's not what you should be doing. Like, shut the fuck up. You should be working towards to improve those things. But if it's something that you can't change, such as, big nose or like a massive birthmark on your face, whatever it is, then you need to learn to accept that, and that's a part of you. That's what makes you unique. And if anything, I think it's a blessing in a sense, because it makes you different from other people, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That unique trait makes you you. And the problem with insecurity, right, is that you'll always have the thought that if my X, whatever it is that you have the insecurity about, looks like everyone else's, I would be okay. So then you attach your self-worth to that insecure trait. And if it's something that you can't change, right, then your self-worth will always be rock bottom, because you will always be insecure about that thing, because you'll never be able to change it. So you have to attach your self-worth to something else, something you can change. So things such as your physique, your skills, your knowledge, your your speaking, your public speaking. All of these things are things that you can change. And if you attach your self-worth to those and those outcomes, then you're much better off than attaching it to something that you can't change, which is your insecurity. You see, insecurity is a lack of confidence, and your self-confidence, self-worth needs to come from something other than that insecurity. We suffer in our heads more than we do in reality. So that insecurity that you're looking at, that you've put your self-worth on, is going to be noticed 100 times more by you than anyone else. People have this false perception when they see confident people, think, oh, they don't have any insecurities, I want to be like that. Bro, the people who are really confident, who have real openness and confidence to themselves and how they look, it's not like they don't have insecurities. They have insecurities, and they have had a huge amount of insecurities, but they've learned to accept them, become one with those insecurities, get to peace of mind with those insecurities, and they're okay with that. And then that's what you need to do. You have to accept yourself, embrace who you are as the individual who you are. And that doesn't mean stay fat, stay unathletic, stay unhealthy. If you can change these things, then go towards changing it. But if you can't change it, then understand that that's you. Accept you, and that's a blessing of you. One practical thing that you can do is to write it down. When we look at problems and we think about problems, When we're in the situation, we can never look at them fully or logically as we would when we were looking at someone else's problems. So I want you to write down what it is that your insecurity is. Now I want you to look at it from the third perspective. If you saw someone else who had this insecurity, what would you think of them? Would you instantly think they're a shit person? That they're ugly or whatever? Think about it. And when you look at it from the third perspective and you switch your viewpoint on it, you can really come to some really nice outcomes on it, because you wouldn't really think that about that person. Say there was a person who had a massive birthmark over their entire left arm. They were insecure about it, and it was like coming down from their neck. If they attached their self-worth to their physique, their public speaking, their charisma, and their humour, do you think people would really care about the massive birthmark going down? No, because he has all these other traits, all these other important traits that he is able to work on. And he didn't take his self-confidence from not having the birthmark. He took his self-confidence from the things that he could change. So write down what it is your insecurity is, and see if it's really as much of a big deal as you're looking at it as. Now, the final thing I'll tell you is to step out of your comfort zone. You see, when we're insecure, we'll go back to our comfort zone because that's where it's comfortable. That's where it's normal. That's where we feel secure. So to cancel out that insecurity, we will stay in our comfort zone. But the problem with that is that we can't develop the confidence that we would like. We can't develop the traits that we would like in ourselves. So we have to step out into our comfort zone, into that discomfort. And that's what we should be doing on every single day, on a daily basis, to improve ourselves, to build confidence in ourselves. And it's a trainable thing. Confidence is a muscle that you can train. You just have to step out your comfort zone into that area of discomfort. And yeah, I know you're not going to want to. So that discomfort of keeping yourself open, stop constricting yourself, letting yourself be open to the world. That discomfort is what's going to make you more confident in yourself. And you have to do that often enough over a long period of time. And then that's where you'll see the real difference in how you feel about your insecurity. So I'm sure that's been helpful to you. Use the tips I've given you, and I'm sure that it will help you towards your insecurities. Thank you for listening to me. Go get that shit, man.